It's been 2 years since the earthquake hit the island of Sulawesi, Indonesia, but many of us fail to remember a hero who saved hundreds of people in the middle of that giant waves. 21-year-old Anthonius Gunawan Agung. He was the only person left in the control tower at the air traffic control of Mutiara SIS Al-Jufrie Airport in Palu when the magnitude 7.5 quake struck the coastal city on that day. His colleagues had run for their lives when the tower started to sway and walls started to crack. But Mr. Agung stayed to make sure that Batik Air Flight 6321, which was on the runway at the time, took off safely. Johannes Wright, a spokesman for Air Navigation Indonesia, said the decision cost him his life but potentially saved hundreds of others. He gave clearance for this flight, and if he left the post before the plane was airborne, hundreds of people inside the plane might be in danger, he said. Soon after the plane took off, the tower trembled and Mr. Agung decided to jump off the fourth floor of the tower, thinking the building could collapse at any time. He broke his leg and suffered internal injuries in the fall. His colleagues rushed him to the nearest hospital before a doctor recommended he be taken out of the city to get a better treatment. The earthquake that hit on that day incapacitated Palu Airport. The air traffic tower was severely damaged and cracks disabled 2,050 meters of the runway. The airport is operating 2,000 meters of runway, just enough for emergency SAR humanitarian aid purposes. His last words were, "Batik 6321 cleared for takeoff." Then, apparently finding his way out blocked, he jumped from the crumbling tower. He died while awaiting treatment. Mr. Mafella, the pilot of Batik Air 6321, and the 147 passengers and crew on the flight had no idea what had just happened on the ground. But from the cockpit, Mr. Mafella saw huge waves at the coastline. "I saw it was a wave moving in a circle with a huge radius. It was getting bigger and bigger, but I don't know what it was," Mr. Mafella told the BBC. "I tried calling the air traffic controller a few times to tell him that what I saw, but there was no answer." Mr. Mafella only found out later why his calls went unanswered. "I am in a WhatsApp group with other air traffic controllers, and one of them told me that they had asked Agung to get away from the tower," said Mr. Mafella. "But he said, wait, Batik Air is still here. When I found out what happened, I was speechless," Mr. Mafella said. Agung dedicated himself to his job until the end of his life and didn't leave the control tower until the plane took off, even though the earthquake had struck. Batik Air pilot Captain Mafella, who captained the flight, expressed his gratitude on Instagram along with a photo of Agung. He also shared the last message by the hero officer and thanked him for allowing them to take off early. AirNav Indonesia lauded the young officer for his sacrifice, and in acknowledgement of his bravery, officials raised his rank by 2 levels. Social media site too flooded with tributes, and netizens praised the young man for his brave act.